Hey, welcome to today's Do Business Better show. Today we've got James Rose. James is really cool, got a great reputation in the whole automation thing.
Pretty much, yeah.
He thinks he's a cool guy, flies around the world telling people about how to do some automation and that sort of stuff. A bit embarrassed about it too, which is pretty awesome. Today, James, tell us a little bit about your background to start with.
Oh man, was an engineer. I think that may be where the automation thing started. I was a control systems automation engineer.
That makes sense.
I don't know what your swearing policy is, but I got the shits with that.
Look, you're allowed to say occasional things accidentally.
Well, I just got the shits with that, and then started a software business on the side, really, and then eventually became a digital agency where we built websites and did marketing stuff. We did some work for you back in the day.
You did. You have.
And then, kept building software. We're onto our third product now. One of them got sold to a Silicon Valley investment firm, so that was pretty cool.
So you really are a tech entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Well, you've sold stuff that you've created. You don't just keep
it. That was half the reason I sold, is just to put it on the entrepreneurial resume.
There you go. Pretty awesome. So you really are a tech entrepreneur, started out as an engineer. Normally engineers don't have much personality. So
I don't either. So.
Okay, let's go with that. You guys can work that out later on. So what was one thing that had the greatest impact on your business? In fact, tell us a little bit about what your business is.
Okay.
That would help.
So right now we have a software product called Content Snare, which people use to gather information from people. So the main use case there is for digital agencies. People that build websites use it to collect the content they need to build the website from their clients. That's the main use case. We've got some large organizations using it now, like a pretty big airline and stuff. So that's an interesting development. But I'm also venturing now into teaching automation. Mostly, I don't even have anything to sell yet. I'm just sort of doing a YouTube thing and writing blog posts and showing people how to get some more time back.
So that's really interesting. So I don't have anything to sell. I'm just going to teach people to do this just for fun.
At the moment, yeah. I'll sell something eventually.
Awesome. I'm sure you will. Let's talk about that. So, do you have a saying or mantra?
Yeah, it's funny. I saw that you were going to ask this question, and I'm not really a saying or mantra kind of person. I was thinking about this the other day. I have like a decent productivity system with Trello, and I know that when I feel like crap, which is pretty often, I still know what I got to do. I look at my system and I go, okay, that's the next task. That's the next high priority. I decided the priority on that like last week. I know that I have to do it, so I'll just freaking do it. But this morning,
I was going to say, is that your saying? Just freaking do it.
Sure, but it's just a little bit serendipitous that you asked me this question, because I saw it on my whiteboard this morning. This thing that I wrote down a while ago that I don't remember who I stole it from, but it said, this is simple, this is easy, this is fun. And to think about like everything you're doing like that, to reframe it as like it's simple and easy and fun and you like doing it. And I know that sounds kind of woo-woo and silly, but it actually, just reading that this morning improved my mood, because I was in a really shitty mood this morning, and I read that and I was doing some stuff I don't like doing. And I was like, I kind of turned it into a little game in my mind. And yeah, so that could be it. I'm going to make that my saying.
Yeah, no, I've heard that saying before, and to me, I'm thinking it might be Andrew Griffiths, but I'm not sure.
Okay, not sure. Google it. Can we do that? Yeah.
This is simple. This is easy. This is fun. Look, I'm not smart enough to Google and talk and interview and stuff at the same time. I'm too old. I can't do that. Okay, just don't give me hell about that. What's been the greatest impact on your business?
Right. So it's funny. Like, there's not many times where I've had a single click, like a moment where a lot of things have changed, and there's been two actually in my business. The one was when I was doing the agency stuff. We were probably around the time we were building one of your websites, and I was so under the pump. Like, stuff was coming from everywhere, and I had no time, and it sucked, and I hated it. And it's exactly not the reason I got into business, like the polar opposite of the reason I got into business. So I had this moment where, because I used to be quite stingy in how I'd find stuff to buy, like software tools, but like, oh no, $30 a month's too much or whatever. and I didn't want to outsource stuff if it was going to cost me more money. But like literally like in a day, I was like, screw this. I'm going to spend some money on anything that will get me time back. It was pretty much my criteria. As long as it saved me like an hour, like a month, you know, that it's worth $30, right? Because my hourly rate's more than 30.
Yep.
So I did that. Next minute, okay, yeah.
Wait, you charge more than $30 an hour?
Oh, I do?
Yeah.
Well,
you said your hourly rate's more than just.
I was trying to come up with a joke, but I'm just not that fast. Told you, I don't have a personality.
You're still processing that.
What was I even talking about? Oh yeah, so I just started signing up for stuff. Sure, I signed up for a lot of crap that I didn't need, which I ended up canceling. But like fast forward, like a couple of years later, that mindset has changed a lot because anything I'm going to do twice, I'll make a process for and give it to our project managers or VAs. And buying software, if I see like a tool that I'm like, I think this will save me time, I'll freaking buy it and set it up and make it work. And, I haven't spent a lot of time at home since October last year. And I kind of realized how much was happening without me. And that was really nice. Yeah.
Fantastic. So you'll invest in tools that will help you be more productive.
And process and people.
Yeah. And process and people that will help you be more productive. And of course, there's always that that continuum of you do need to have the money to invest in that, but as soon as you can, it is a good thing to use that signal.
It is funny though, because like having the money to invest, like something that's $30 a month, people will often think that that's too much. So it's almost like subscription averse. But if you really think about it, that's like a few $100s a year. Like that's not.
If it saves you more than an hour a month, that's got to be worth it. Yeah, I do get that. Now we've all been through some stuff. Most of us, anyway. So James, tell us, we've all been through some stuff. So what have you been through?
You're laughing because we spoke about this offline. And I was struggling to think of like something I've been through, and it makes me sound probably like a douchebag in that I've got no tough times. But it's like every friggin' week I'm having a tough time, but I don't see it as like a big setback. Like, I'll be having a shitty day. And I mean, someone posted a video yesterday about some dude just slapping a whole bunch of people, and it was hilarious and it fixed my bad mood. Sometimes I go to the gym and it fixes it. But like a setback in business, like, I don't know, it's normally something I realize after the fact. Like we blew, multi-six figures on development of our new software product that we probably could have got away with a lot less. And, you can only see that in hindsight. It's like we screwed up here and here and here. We'd be much better off right now if we didn't do that. So it wasn't so much like a roadblock or a setback. It's just like we screwed up. Got a few of those.
We've all screwed up along the way. But I must say, part of that is also you do have an amazingly resilient approach to life. Things happen and you just get on with it. I know that from earlier on when we were chatting about stuff, there was a client that hadn't paid you, 6 figures, and they were withholding those funds, and that would have put you in a bit of a challenging spot. Now, a lot of people would have gone into complete meltdown, and you just went, something will happen, and something did. So, awesome, and all glory to you. So it is partly in how you see those challenges as they come up, and that's something that you do really, really well.
Thank you.
Now news and stuff in your industry, and we're not sure what you really aren't abiding by this at all.
This is fun.
You really are, which is fantastic. So
I'm going to read your question. It says, what's been in the news with your industry? And I said to Kevin, I don't watch the news because it's a friggin' waste of time.
I thought you were going to tell me you didn't have an industry.
Well, that's hard too. I don't really know what our industry is. Like we make software for a specific industry, I guess, for digital agencies, but also we've got like marketing teams coming on board now, like enterprises. Like I said, one of the world's top 10 airlines signed up, and I'm like, that doesn't really fit our industry. So I don't know what the hell we're doing, but
software development.
Yeah, sure. That can
Cool.
be
So let's talk about automation and innovation then.
Let's talk about not watching the news.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about
because it's a waste of time. That's how you get time back.
I don't know how you're going to work out who you want to vote for or who's going to be better for the economy and stuff. But apart from that,
I'll work it out.
You will, I'm sure. So tell me a little bit about what's happening in terms of automation, because that's what you're helping people with. So what's happening in that world?
Think obviously a very highly fast-paced industry because things are changing all the time. Like with Zapier, which is one of the biggest automation tools, I guess. I get an email every week that's like, here's what new tools we plug into this week and what things you can do with them. So it's constantly changing. But like I guess that's what's new. It's always freaking new. There's new tools and stuff and other things. But what I've found is that people mostly have no idea where to start with automation, because I was looking at when I was looking at starting to teach people automation, I put out a survey. I got about 130 responses or something. And this was like not a small survey. This was like a lot of full not paragraphs, but like open-ended questions. And to get 130 people to actually take the time and respond, I was like, holy crap, like people want to know about this, want to get time back. And 80% of people said they didn't know where to start or something like that. Like they didn't know what they could automate, didn't know where to start, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I don't know.
So how do you help someone simply start that automation process without going into the next half hour? But if you could give 3 steps to getting started with automation, what would they be?
Ooh, that's a good question. So because I've had to present on this a few times, and literally all I do is just bombard people with examples just to get their brain going. Like, oh yeah, maybe I could use that in my business. But an easy way is go to Zapier.com and browse their app directory, so you can type in the tools you're already using and see what kind of triggers you can so basically the way a Zap works briefly is like when something happens, that's a trigger, do something else.
Yep.
And so you could say, okay, what are the triggers I can use in Google Sheets or something? Like, okay, someone's added a new spreadsheet row. I could trigger something in another app, and then you can look at that app and go search that in the app directory, and it's like these are all the actions you can create, like maybe put someone in a CRM or change a deal stage or whatever. So that's just browsing around and seeing what's possible. It's probably the easiest way to get started, I would say.
Okay, so I'd even go back a step. And you're going to go,
okay, go.
You're not the automation expert, Kevin, and I'm not. I am not the automation expert. But I go, okay, so think of the stuff that's taking you lots of time that you're doing again and again and again.
Yeah.
Right? Then I then go, okay, so if I was going to get a robot to do this, would that improve my business or not? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's another thing, like double entry. If you're putting the same data in multiple places, or you have to be like, I just had a call with this person in the CRM or whatever, and now I have to put a note over here or something. Like any kind of double entry, things that are tedious that you're doing all the freaking time. If you can't automate it, you might be able to get a person to help you with that. Shit you don't like doing is a good one.
Shit you don't like doing. So, speaking of which, they probably don't like watching videos for far too long. So maybe what we should do is, if you've got questions on this sort of stuff, just put comments below. And James will get back to every single person, okay? He promises, because
all right.
He's great like that. No, he is a really engaging guy. He doesn't promise to do it in 2 seconds, but he will get back to everyone once a day and basically make sure that your automation challenges are at least answered.
Yeah, and hit me with like any specific questions, like if you're struggling with automation or you don't know where to start or anything, because I'm always on the lookout for ideas of videos to create to sort of show people what can be done. So, could end up in a video
show.
If you just go to jimmyrose.me, there's a YouTube link there.
Do you know you could share them into Brisbane Small Business because you're not selling stuff?
Oh, okay, cool. I'll do
Wednesday,
that.
the best day. Every Wednesday, send your last show.
I thought that would be spam, but I'm good then.
As long as you're not selling stuff, you can share any stuff into here. So thanks, guys. Thanks for coming along today, James. Thanks for giving us your time. And I really hope everybody's got at least one thing out of that today.
Thanks for having me. See you guys.
Thanks a lot.